Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Laidi Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O great ones, fill our hearts with thy love. We open ourselves to thy vibrations to be uplifted in thee. Bless our satsang today with thy divine presence. Om Shanti. Shanti. We have a chant, very special chant today. We recorded some new chants for the Hindi Sangha mainly in Hindi, and I want to share one of those with you today. I'm in Pune, and there's a chanting group here. So let's hear that chant.
Master said that another way to attract true friends from past lives, and that's again what we're talking about, is to meditate on Om and be immersed in Om. Om generates a tremendous magnetism in you, and in the consciousness of Om to send out a call. When you send out that call deeply enough, it will come. I remember the story of Ramakrishna, how when he had gone through many years of sadhana and the time had come for him to attract disciples, and he said that his longing for his spiritual children became so intense that he felt that as if his heart were like a wet towel being squeezed, wrung dry. This he would say, just my own, come to me. And that magnetism was so strong that then his real disciples started coming. I remember Master saying about Norman, who was a very big and stalwart disciple, Master saying to us one time, I prayed for somebody strong, and that's why you were born. And he looked at Norman. But that would go by extension for many of the disciples, that he prayed for them to come, and then they were born so they could join him. The story of Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, when I think it was Vivekananda had this vision, but it may have been Ramakrishna, I forget now. But at any rate, Ramakrishna as a little boy coming up to a sage in the astral or causal world and saying, "I'm going down, will you join me?" And the sage smiled, and then in his own time he was born. But there is a real link, and you've felt it. That's one of the marvelous things about coming into touch with a spiritual family like ours. I felt it so often. I was just remembering this morning, Seva mentioned, well, I found it, there was no problem. I just went to a lecture, and there you were. But it was that I was giving the lecture, and I saw Seva in the back of the room, and there she was. I just knew. Many of you, I've had that experience that it sometimes it's taken a little longer, sometimes I felt it immediately, but that sense of an old friend. Norman said that when he saw me walk into the Hollywood church, his sort of instinctive, instant thought was, there he is. When you generate that kind of magnetism, then it all comes into place. But then come into place also other factors. That to be worthy of such a family, to be worthy of such an association, you have to put out the right kind of behavior. If you want others to trust you, you have to be trustworthy. If you want others to be loyal to you, you have to be loyal to them. If you want others to love you, you have to love them. In fact, you can't be thinking that much in terms of what they are going to give you. You have to think in terms of what you are giving them. Many people come to great saints, but don't stay. I remember Master saying to Mr. Cuaron, the center leader in Mexico City, whom he was very close to, and he said, "I lost sight of you for a few lifetimes, but now you're back and I won't lose you again." And Cuaron would say, "Promise, Master." It's a promise. And every now and then Cuaron would say, "Remember you promised." "Yes, I promised. I won't lose you again." But it wasn't Master who lost in the first place. It was that now he saw that Cuaron had learned his lessons and was spiritually ready to stay with it.
Good morning again, everyone. I'd like to start with reading. This is a beautiful topic today, finding divine friends from the past. Swami Sri Yukteswarji said to Master before he went to the US, "Even in a wilderness, you will find friends everywhere you go." And then Master said, "There are some who you give the instantaneous feeling that you have known them always. This indicates that they are your friends of previous incarnations. Do not neglect them. Strengthen the friendship existing between you. Be on the lookout for them always. They constitute your shining collection of soul jewels. In these bright soul galaxies, you will behold the one great friend smiling at you radiantly and clearly. It is God who comes to you in the guise of a noble, true friend to serve, inspire, and guide you. The instant attraction of your mind to the likable inner and outer features of an individual is your first indication that you have found a friend of the past. Do not be deceived by physical beauty. Ask yourself whether or not the face, the manner of walking, in short, everything about a person appeals to you. Sometimes overeating or lack of exercise may distort the features of a friend, and thus he may escape your recognition. Ascertain whether you are mentally and spiritually congenial. It's a wonderful topic because we have many friends in our lives. Who's behind the friends, though? We have to really ask ourselves. It really is God. Divine Mother is our friend when others come and they go, they disappoint us, maybe they're disloyal, whatever happens, they're upset with us. Really, Divine Mother is the longest friend. She's been our friend forever. She's the greatest friend we ever have had and we ever will have. And it's so sweet. Our Master in his prayer says, in the prayer we use, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend. So sweet. Friend. And then beloved God. And so many people feel God is distant, harsh, whatever. And then Divine Mother shows you your friends from the past. All is Divine Mother. Who's behind the friend? Who's behind our parents, our children, our beloved, our spouse? Who's there? We have to ask ourselves. And I remember when I went to Ananda, the first time I recognized so many dear friends. Swamiji, just how he spoke, his lectures, his smile, his eyes, his vibration, Jyotish and Devi ji, many Jaya ji, many of the people there. I just felt, I know these people, even though it seemed like it was such a different environment from what I was used to. When I first came to India, I remember the very first class I did, it was like I had just arrived, and it was either the same day or the day after, someone knocked on my door at the center and said, the house, and said, can you come give a class? Because this person can't give the class. And I said, I've just arrived here. There must be somebody else. And they said, no, there's nobody. So I went down and I just fell in love. I just thought, these are my friends. And some are still with us after 20 plus years. But I felt even everywhere we went, we lectured all throughout India, right from the beginning, Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai. Pune came a little bit later, but also in NCR and many different places, Hyderabad. I saw friends everywhere and people that I just felt I knew. And I remember going to Chennai and such a wonderful group there. And I would stay at this center, which was a small apartment that was also the center and the temple and everything all in one. And I remember just seeing so many dear friends there. And I remember meeting Prasanna, Vasudeva, all the various people. I just felt so much like I knew them. And then up in Delhi, we have large programs with Swamiji. And honestly, when we came here, I didn't know one Indian. But I met so many friends from the past. And I remember meeting Nayaswami Aditya. He tells this story, which is so sweet. He hadn't been to any program. He didn't know anything about Ananda, our master. He just read autobiography, I believe. So he comes to a large program of Swamiji. I think there were, I don't know, 1,500 people or something there. And he said, I came up to him and just kind of hit him on the back and said, how have you been? I didn't know him at all. He didn't know me. And he had told one of his friends who he brought that he didn't know anybody here. And the friend said, I thought you said you didn't know anybody. She acts like she knows you. He says, I don't know her. But that's just how it is. And also at a class after the next weekend, we were in Gargan, and the Nayaswami Aditya was there again. And he said, I looked straight at him after the satsang. I'd given the satsang, and I said, now, if any of you here has not learned how to meditate, just looking straight at him, you should come to the class. And it happened all throughout India. And you can feel from the face, from the eyes, the vibration of the person, from the joy level, from the posture, from the voice. There's a recognition, and also from just the heart connection, that you like to be around them. I remember living in Gurgaon with two very dear friends. I didn't know them before, but we meditated every day. I think it was a couple of hours. And we lived in that ashram for 3 years together. We meditate every day. We didn't even have to talk anymore. We just would know each other's thoughts and feelings. And it just was a natural feeling of friendship from the past. And then Divine Mother sends us our guru. I think of Babaji, how he said to Lahiri Mahashai so sweetly, I've waited for you all these years. For 3 decades, I've waited for you here. And shows him all the things he had from a past life, his asanas, the cave he meditated in, the cup he had saved for him, and also sweet Sri Teswarji, when they met, how he said, oh, my own, you have come to me. And he repeated over and over, you've come. And Divine Mother sends the guru. The guru is our dear friend because it's God through the guru. And it's so sweet how Master, he's our friend. And when we think about him, he gave, who was it? Swamiji. When Swamiji first came, Master gave him his unconditional love in the first meeting. I mean, that's an amazing thing. The guru pours out his love because he knows who you are. And also with Dr. Lewis, I give you my unconditional love. Will you love me always as I will love you? I mean, it's a relationship of love. And then we think of this, Master drew us away from a life of sorrow and, I mean, complete confusion. And let's face it, disappointment and difficulties and problems. This is a true friend. He drew us away from that and gave us guru bhais. He gave us places to meditate, technique centers, meditation groups, music, uplifting, beautiful, all the books. And Swamiji, I mean, this is coming from God and Guru. We have to know that they're our dearest friends. And then look at Swamiji. He's our friend. We say in our prayers, friend and guide. Swami Kriyanandaji, friend, comes even before guide. That's such a sweet part of our path that it's from the heart. How can you learn from somebody if you're just afraid of them or they discipline you all the time? Friend. One reporter asked Swamiji, why so many people love you? And he said, maybe because I love them. Such a beautiful thing. When I went to Ananda, very first time Swamiji he didn't have his arms open, but it was like open with his arms open. He just looked at me. He must have recognized me. I kind of recognized him, but it wasn't. I felt the vibration of depth. I felt this man knows what he's talking about. I felt the loyalty to his guru. I felt Master through him. I felt love flowing through him. I felt wisdom. I felt joy. And my mind was confused, but I felt those things. And Swamiji said to me, this is your home. This was almost his first words. This is your home. He was reaching out, bringing me back to Ananda from his face, his eyes, his talks, his humor. There was a recognition in the heart. And then it came later, recognition of who he was. Always supportive, always kind, always giving. And so how do we find and keep friends? find our friends from the past and how do we keep them? Well, one, we pray to God for friends, for your friends. Meditate deeply and afterwards ask Master, send me who can help me in this lifetime as a dear friend. And it was interesting, a Nadi reader said to me years back, he said, at a certain age, you will feel more of your guru's energy, Shakti, power. And lo and behold, it's true. Now, what does that mean to me? People, people who have come to help this work, who've come to help. People, joy, energy, magnetism, but from people who have come. Of course, I feel some within myself, but how can you do anything on your own by yourself? And so pray to God and Guru, send me whoever I need in this lifetime to be able to find you, to serve you, to love you more deeply. Send me my friends of the past. And then put out a call from your heart. Open yourself and put out a call to those who are waiting. Now, here's another point. Don't put out a needy call. I need. Put out a call of I want to give, I want to serve, I want to help, I want to be a friend. And those who are around you, befriend them. Give of yourself. And I was remembering in when Swamiji he was writing the path. And he would have us, I wasn't there, but others come over and read. And he was always writing something, but he wanted he wanted you to help him. It wasn't just read and you go home and meditate. Some people would sit and just meditate. And Swamiji would say, well, anybody have any thoughts? Nobody did anything. And he said, after weeks of that, he finally said, listen, I want to hear from you. I need your feedback. Tell me what you think. And then people started helping him with that. And the other one, beautiful thing that Swamiji told us here again, I was early days, I wasn't there, but he said that once he was going on a trip to Europe, and he's told the people who were there at the satsang, now I've been blessing you all, giving you all a blessing for years. Now I'm asking you to come up and bless me for this trip. And people were shocked. They didn't, but it was always reciprocal. All the times I remember with him, anytime I was giving, I received so much more. And so Swamiji waited for people to come up and bless him. And so as we think of finding friends, think of giving, think of how can I help? How can I serve? And you will find that friends, I have so many friends in India now. I mean, they all came, maybe more are coming, and why? So that we can help each other to walk the path, to stay strong, to be inspired, to love God, to help our guru's work. That this wonderful family of Guru Bhais, Guru Bhai, that's different than really Guru Bhai you're in the family of the Guru. Your brothers and sisters on the path. It goes even deeper than a friend, a Guru Bhai. And that really you're making an inner promise to help, to uplift, to inspire, to bless, to help when your friend is going in a wrong direction, to help them to get back on the path and to listen to the counsel of your friends, those who you respect. And then hand in hand, I think at least the dream I had was, I don't have time to recall it, was that at the end of our life, we were all there waiting for Master, our dearest friend. And he came, and all of us together, we were able to merge into the light with him. I want to close with this beautiful, I'm reading a book of Srinivasa Ramanujan, the great mathematician. I just want to read a very short excerpt that I read about him. He said that mathematics was not a technical discipline, but he declared, an equation for me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God. Then he went on to say he credited many of his mathematical discoveries to visions and dreams of the goddess Namagiri, his family's revered deity. He described a vivid and lifelong spiritual relationship with the goddess, saying that she whispered mathematical truths to him during his dreams when he would often see complex mathematical formulas and upon waking would hurriedly write them down. And then finally from Master, isn't that beautiful though? Master's words, noble an institution as friendship is, was not until I met my guru that I came to understand its higher octaves. As a divine friend, he was perfection itself, for friendship should uplift, and that is something it does not always do. So long as it's between egos, it may only strengthen the ego. When I met Master, he said to me, I give you my unconditional love. No treasure, surely, could be greater than that sacred promise. He has fulfilled it in countless ways. More and more through the years, I have found him mentally guiding me, leading me toward inner freedom, filling me with inner bliss. I love my Guru. As he himself wrote about his own Guru, Swami Sri Teswar, as the spoken voice of silent God. He was ever, and is now more than ever, my nearest and dearest companion. Om Shanti Shanti. I'll request Natindra to join now.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. We have a few questions. The first one, Dhyanaji, is that we can choose our friends, as you were saying, so that they are more spiritually inclined and uplifting. But how can we change our family to be more spiritual in case they are not?
I think you have to be that yourself. You can't put the blame on everybody else. I know my mom came on, she learned how to meditate and learned energization because I just kept praying for her. She came and visited us in Italy for a whole month and lived there, changed her diet, learned the techniques. She came to Ananda many times. She met Swamiji. He blessed her, let's face it. So I think you just, you have to be strong in yourself. You know, Master said he would disown his father if he spoke again against his guru. So you have to be strong in yourself, but pray for them. And I would say be the example yourself. And there's some karma there, or you wouldn't have been born in that family. Some is good, some may not be so good, you know, but look more at the positive things around you. And I left my home at 17 and I didn't go back. And I found my guru. But that was some years later after university. But I think Master, the best thing is keep asking Master to guide you. He will rearrange things in the right way. That's what I found.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. The next one, Dhyanaji, is that we all follow our gurus, but is there something common in all of our gurus' disciples, and are we more related in some way?
I think we're relatives. We're more relatives than the relatives we have, I would say. I mean, there's a vibration that we all carry. There's love that we all have. There's a joyful feeling. There's energy. There's magnetism. Now, what is that from? From what we do. It's not one person's more gifted than another. and from past lives of serving, of meditating, of being together, of being with Master, of being with Swamiji, of being with each other, of helping each other. This is a long journey. How can we expect that a few decades we're going to make it? I think we've been trying and trying for a while, but in joy, in love, in peace, in inspiration, in, helping each other. I remember I met you, Nitendra. It was instantaneous. I wasn't here that long, and you came, Pranita came, Jayanti came. I had so many wonderful friends all around. I'm thinking of various Bhavani here in Pune, Anil, Amit Bhaiya. I mean, just so many wonderful. Now, you can't say that those are casual relationships. And if I haven't named you, I want to, but I can't name everybody. But they're not casual. I think of Pia, I think of Ranjana, just Jait. I mean, how can you say those are casual relationships? Everybody has them. You don't have to spend time. Now, let's get to know each other. Now, where are you from? What did you do? Now, who cares? When you have a soul bond, that's the most important thing. And God reminds us about those people. Otherwise, I mean, how did I get to India? I wasn't even supposed to be coming here. I mean, and I met most of my friends now are in India. I've been in India longer than I lived at Ananda Village. This is all the guru's doing. So let's rely on him to make the changes in our lives. He does a great job as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely, Dhyanaji. He does a great job of keeping you in India for us.
I'm not going anywhere.
The last question, Dhyanaji, is that did Swamiji and our masters live with spiritual friends and families? And were they born in it, or they did draw that spiritual friendship?
Swamiji's mother was deeply spiritual. You read in the New Path. Uh, his father wasn't, and the rest of his family wasn't, as far as we ever heard. And yeah, very interesting because then he started Ananda, and all of us came, and all of the family here in India, and all the family. I mean, he had thousands of not just friends, but relatives, spiritual relatives. So he didn't have them who were biological. For most people, that's really difficult. And Masters, his brother wasn't spiritual. Ananta, we know the stories. I mean, you played Ananta in Two Penniless Boys and from Vrindavan and in Vrindavan. And so his father and mother were spiritual. I don't know about I think generally his family was Master's family. But it went deeper than that. When he met his guru, that was it. He met Swami Sri Teswarji, his whole life changed. And so, yeah, I think for some people, yes, they might have somebody spiritual. For me, it was my grandmother. She was a saint as far as I'm concerned. She was deeply, deeply spiritual. And I told her what I was doing with Ananda. She said, I know exactly what you're doing. I said, well, I meditate there. She said, I know everything about it. And I think she did. And she was the guiding force in my life. So everybody tends to have somebody there who is born in your family who's deeply spiritual, isn't it so? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nitendra. And God bless you. Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad to have so many wonderful divine friends here.